Sturgis.
Yeah. And they're clear up that close.
Right.
Good.
Nobody has. They gave you consecutive serial numbers. That's kind of cool.
Well, they're literally the first ones in the U.S. So
4 and 5.
literally. Okay, what we're doing here is we're going to pattern our guns before we hunt. In this case, gun on this new SARS SAX 700 that we just had shipped in special to us today. They are telling us we're the first ones to handle them in the US, and the serial number they sent us two, we've got an 04 and an 05. So we got the privilege to be the first ones to use them. We're going to shoot some paper here first, make sure we like what we see, and then hopefully go get us a bird or two with them. We do have a Black Hills tag, and then also a prairie tag as well. So with that, we will, and I stuck the factory full choke in it to start with. And this is something that's just super simple. It's a common sense deal, but a guy just can't stress it enough how vital it is. Oh, I got it. I think. Yep. And we are doing this on the fly. Typically, a guy would do this at home before you leave, but as I said, we just got the gun shipped in. So I threw in a piece of plywood, stapler, and we'll go see what we can get done. All right, I'm just going to do this quick standing, hopefully without too much wobble. That would be one dead board.
We're rolling.
Okay, as you can see, obviously you want to have a head neck shot on this bird. This was my hold point, and as you can see all through up the spinal column, this is all nice and compact. If anything, this tells me this pattern's a bit low. And I don't know if it's the way I hold a gun or not, but I've noticed before too, patterning these shotguns, that I need to hold a little bit higher. So I did learn something with this as well. Now, we do know roughly what the pattern looks like. We've got our paper birdie. We'll let fly and we'll check the results here. I hope I didn't flinch on that. I'm gonna end up with a sore shoulder. Them things got some snort. Holy. If the back of the board is any indication, I don't know of any turkeys that can withstand that. And just as many got away from me, but you can see some of the shot there. And as you can see, let me blow some of this away. That shot still has not deformed much at all, and that's going through 3/4 of an inch of plywood there. Okay, we just got out here in the Black Hills of South Dakota. Had a chance to scout out a quick area where we did have success last year. Stopped on the road, made a few loud calls, have birds answering, have seen birds, and these are all within quarter of a mile to half a mile from us, so we're pretty excited here. It's just before dark. We're going to try to get a blind up, get ourselves organized, hopefully slip back here in the morning and put something together with them. I'll just stick it in, then I'll stick the hand in, see how it looks. They got rocks here. Maybe I wish I didn't call them.
Midwest Gun Dog Kennels is your full-time gun dog training facility. For over 30 years, we have customized our training to fit each individual gun dog. We know it takes a well-trained gun dog to handle wild birds. Make every hunting trip a dream trip. Let Midwest Gun Dog Kennels put excitement back into your hunt of a lifetime. Midwest Gun Dog Kennels, where experience equals excellence.
Make your next day on the water even better with Airwave Pedestal. The only air suspension system that can be custom adjusted to the weight of the rider. No unreliable springs, no oil-filled shocks to leak. Our patented design utilizes a 2-stage suspension system to smooth out the roughest ride, while limiting travel to an industry-leading 2 inches. This boating season, enjoy your time on the water to the fullest. Find out how at airwavepedestal.com.
Dakota Pheasant Guide offers the best wild pheasant hunts from the Glacial Lakes area of South Dakota west to the Missouri River. Packages available include everything from self-guided to fully guided hunts. Book your bird hunting adventure now. Fishermen, iTime Promotions is your ticket to an enjoyable and successful day on the water. Call Dennis Foster for your outdoor adventure of a lifetime.
Well, we got out here to the Black Hills last night, mid-May, a little later than we'd have liked to have been out here, but quite frankly, we're in the apparently the Chinese year of pandemic here. Nothing was open. Deadwood itself is just slowly starting to reopen, but the area that we're in, we came down just before dark last night and saw a number of birds Mostly males grouped up together. I'm not a turkey expert. I would guess that the hens are nested up, and they were super talkative. They responded to every darn thing and gobbled their fool head off. Got here this morning, thought it'd be a fairly easy deal to pull a few in, and quite frankly, we've heard one bird gobble far, far in the distance, barely even heard that. So with that, we're gonna get a little more aggressive here. We're gonna run around and see if we just can't find a few birds, maybe set up, see if we can't pull them in. At the very least, we're gonna take in a bunch of great scenery. We'll showcase that. And we're actually gonna follow up this Black Hills hunt with a prairie hunt, which is a totally separate deal just off of the hills, West River, South Dakota. And that's more of hunting draws, that type of thing. So we're going to give you two different looks at what South Dakota has to offer. And the nice thing about it is, just in this general area with the hills and the surrounding prairie, there's well over 2 million acres of public ground that's huntable. So you don't need access to private ground. This is a real low-cost affair. I definitely encourage you to come out. I'm novice, but like I said, we had birds talking to us last night. They will respond, plenty of birds, and hopefully we can put one on the ground and show you what they look like.
Can't imagine that hen be all by itself.
On a string. Wow, this just goes to show you I'm novice as all get out, and we just did a little piece. We're talking about leaving and gonna run around, be aggressive. We got to the truck, didn't even get the stuff put away, heard one gobble a couple 100 yards away. We left the blind set up because we planned on maybe coming back later this evening, and then actually was able to pull him in. And I really honestly do not know what I'm doing. This is the first time I've ever called a wild turkey, you know, out in the open, played around for maybe a couple hours at most at home. Purposely didn't even watch any videos, just kind of scratched around on a slate and a box call till it sounded good to me. And then actually we had these birds respond to probably 80% of the scratchings I made. And I think there's probably more birds behind this bird. It actually came in behind us. But we've got a bunch of rain forecast here, and me being novice, I wasn't going to blow the opportunity. So as soon as he came into view, we put him down, and I'm sure it'll show well on the footage when we review it. But we're shooting these Fiocchi golden turkeys, and number 4 in their copper plated shot. and it just absolutely dumped this bird. He did not move one iota. So with that, we're going to go take a look at him, see how good he is. I'm not a big judge of turkeys. He never did fan out, but it looked to have a fairly good beard on it. So we're going to hope it's a good mature bird here, and let's go see what we got. Well, I got to tell you, this is pretty exciting for never having done this myself before. This would be the 4th bird I've killed, but I've had very experienced hunters with me when I've killed them, and they've done the calling, and quite honestly, I basically just did what I was told. But I got to tell you, I'm tickled pink. And we actually caught a good break on this because we were bailing. There's no doubt about it. We were out of here. Had the stuff put in the back seat of the truck there, and was just closing the door and heard one gobble, and we retreated back to our position here, and boy, just a beautiful bird. City looks like here.
High Point Pet Foods presents Country Creations Dog Foods, offering quality nutrition for the life of your canine companion. To fuel the fire of puppyhood into keeping the energy level high of an active young dog, optimizing the performance of the hard-charging adult, or having a quality diet for your senior canine companion. Country Creations has you covered with their quality formulas. Get in touch with High Point Pet Foods today. Midwest Gun Dog Kennels is your full-time gun dog training facility. For over 30 years, we have customized our training to fit each individual gun dog. We know it takes a well-trained gun dog to handle wild birds. Make every hunting trip a dream trip. Let Midwest Gun Dog Kennels put excitement back into your hunt of a lifetime. Midwest Gun Dog Kennels, where experience equals excellence.
Dakota Pheasant Guide offers the best wild pheasant hunts from the Glacial Lakes area of South Dakota west to the Missouri River. Packages available include everything from self-guided to fully guided hunts. Book your bird hunting adventure now. Fishermen, iTime Promotions is your ticket to an enjoyable and successful day on the water. Call Dennis Foster for your outdoor adventure of a lifetime.
And we'll step this off and give you guys a range here in a bit, but I gotta tell you, I'm tickled with that Fiocchi golden turkey load. It absolutely, this bird did not move 1 inch, just went directly down. And we'll allude to these shells in a bit here when we got a little bit of downtime, but I'm shooting these golden turkeys and I've got some good experience with them. I run a pheasant hunting operation in northeastern South Dakota, and I rely on the golden pheasant lineup from Fiocchi, and then actually I go to their 3-inch number 4s, which I believe, same shot, copper plated, I believe those are pushing them at 1,200 feet a second, and their golden turkey is in effect the same load, only hotter, tossing them downrange at 13.25, I believe it is, on the speed, and you can see just how hard these hit. And when we go to eat this bird, something that a lot of folks overlook that I love with this copper plated or nickel plated shot is it maintains a tighter pattern because there isn't the deformity getting flyers in your pattern. And then beyond that, especially with the pheasants, we clean thousands of them a year, and it's rare to find a BB in the breast with any feathers, where in the past with lead shot that becomes deformed and gets little jagged edges and drives those feathers in. So when it comes to table fare, it's a lot cleaner meat to eat, and I've never ended up, since I started shooting the copper-plated stuff, with a BB and a breast. So just something to consider out there, and a reasonably priced load at that. Boy, I gotta tell you, I am just absolutely, I'm gonna hug this guy, tickled. I'm assuming these birds were really hot. Like I say, this is my first time actually calling a turkey itself, but literally I would guess they responded to 80% of the times I scratched on anything. We hammered on a box call. We'd get a lot of response out of that. And as they got very close, they were coming in behind us, so it was tough to judge actually what the birds themselves were doing other than listening to them. But then I went down to a slate and just started doing what would be my version of little purrs with a little cluck in behind it, and they'd pop off on that every single time. Gotta tell you, Black Hills, South Dakota, you can't beat this. This is a do-it-yourself deal, not a lot of money involved. If you're a novice like I am too, there's not a lot of money in equipment. We hunted out of a blind, more so for the fact that we could have the camera in there and get away with a little more movement. But you can take your existing shotgun. To let you guys know, this is a factory full choke, not even custom choke, so no money there. You know, your basic camo, whatever you got laying around at home, get yourself out, do this. Then you can start moving up into the more higher item, more sophisticated stuff, which I know I'm gonna, because I am damn sure hooked. With that, we're gonna run out on the prairie over the weekend, which I'm very fortunate. Gonna have Larry Bennett, that's out of Center City, which is in between Lead and Deadwood. Local hardcore hunter, very well known in the area, take us out on a ranch, and I'm gonna sit back and let him do the work for us there and see if we can't get a prairie bird. Coming back for another little revisit to this bird. Take a look at the spurs on that guy too. We didn't look at those earlier. And then we're gonna, once we get squared away here, we're gonna talk a little more equipment. We're gonna talk guns. We mentioned earlier, SAR Imports just literally shipped the first guns to be used, shotguns to be used in the U.S. out to the Black Hills here, specifically to Buckstop Gun Shop in Belle Fourche. Thank them for that. And they're going to play a large role in my pheasant hunting operation this year as well. We've got some gas-operated autos right now. They're bringing in some inertias. They also have over and unders and pumps, and through future shows we'll show those to you folks as well. But god dang it, I can't say enough. This is another thing I'm hooked on. You know, and I've been cussing myself that I haven't completely filled the boat up with all my stuff and got out on a wahi, but this makes up for it. Another thing with this too, and obviously I'm completely prejudiced on this, and I have no shame for saying it, but we are so blessed here in South Dakota. And we alluded to the fact that we're still in this Chinese pandemic that we're dealing with here, I guess, year of the pandemic. The local businesses could use the support out here. Obviously, the Black Hills are tourism based. Don't be afraid to come out and see these folks. They've treated us very good for years. I would like to give a shout out to Deadwood itself. The Chamber of Commerce has been more than conducive to helping me throughout the years through the activities I've done here in the hills, thanks to Lee Harstead, the long-term director of that. Franklin Hotel, the historic Franklin Hotel, which I absolutely love, in the old part of Deadwood, which is right close to all the action, right next to the number 10, where Wild Bill met his demise, as so did this guy. No aces and eights for him though. Just number 4 copper plated. Good, good, good. All right, we got a little blues for the Black Hills going here. We bagged out on our hills bird here, so we're just goofing around, looking at some of the scenery here in between rain squalls. and we're right above deadwood, but what's real apparent here is they had issues with pine beetles in the last several years, and you can see the bare spots as a result of that. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Without fire, with man taking away the natural fires, it has altered the ecosystem of the hills, and this has opened up a lot more ground to let the sunlight through, and a lot more browsing opportunities for the various critters.